Or after they were dead,
Alright, so welcome back. That was Possum Kingdom by the Toadies.
You wanna
Yeah,
stay?
I found it very fitting for our segment. So, this Childer James man, why didn't they tell people that there was a serial killer
Yeah.
going around?
Like we were in that age bracket. I mean, we
Mhm.
wouldn't have been prostitutes or whatever, but we were young girls at that point. That
Partying or
yeah,
whatever.
or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, think about how many guys' cars we got in the late 90s.
Oh man, and how you just stood on the street for a minute
We were
and
in a dark tunnel with strangers once, remember?
oh yeah, no, I know.
Jesus.
I know. I'm glad my kid stays
You hold your
home.
kids safe, man.
Yes. I know where my kids are.
Yeah, because there's too much like trafficking going on now. Like we were sitting here thinking about this man. So he would have been born in 1967 and he murdered himself, committed suicide in a motel room after sending a you want to talk you know more about
No,
it.
go ahead.
Right, a package.
Yeah, he sent a what was it, like a 2 hour taped confession, like an audio recording. And I guess there was a manifesto and some other like stuff with it
Mhm.
too. But yeah, with his confessions.
Yeah, and we had just read that right before we played the song, where he uses we
Yeah, we.
to describe how he disposed of a body.
Yeah, so
Um,
sounds like he had a buddy.
hmm
Maybe on one of the murders, if not all of, like maybe.
right. And a lot of people kill in twos. You'd be
Oh my God,
surprised.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah, it's scary too. And then
Hmm
there's the women, like that help the dudes.
That's sick to
That's
me. That
scary.
is sick to me.
Yeah.
I think women serial killers.
Oh, I've
Listen,
been watching, so I know. Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, the girl next door. Do you know that? Okay.
I don't know.
And then there's this woman. Oh my God, her name escaped my brain right now. All right, there's a really good movie. There's two different movies: The Girl Next Door and
Is that?
something else. This woman, this couple was a circus couple, and they
Yeah.
had
Nope.
kids.
I know the movie. I know the
Oh
story.
my God.
Gertrude Baniszewski is her name.
Yeah, Gertrude. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh
and the
my
girl's
health.
name was she did it. Oh, now I don't remember her, but yeah, I know yeah, it's
That's disgusting.
horrible,
Like women, we're different.
despicable.
Well, I think we're better at it.
Hmm.
We're a little more different. Our tendency, well, they can't pinpoint a woman's drive to kill
And the poison, like
necessarily.
that's got to be one of the most sadistic. Like Jack the Ripper
That's all we could
showed more
do.
mercy to his victims than somebody who was poisoned.
Well, I mean, that's the only way we could do
Well,
anything
yeah, back then, God, and it was like our passive aggressive way of getting even with.
to get what we wanted
Yeah, and
because we weren't allowed to read, we weren't
yeah,
allowed
you
to
weren't
write.
allowed to do anything. Well, guess what? You want me to cook your
And if
food?
you were a high
Like I'll
class
cook your
woman, you
food
weren't
for
even
you.
allowed to get off.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah,
Only whores were allowed to get off. They taught that all well into the late 1900s,
that's
like
ridiculous.
1950,
Yeah.
1960, up until now.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
still taught now
Yeah.
that only low class
Well, like
women
the
can have
places that
sex.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I did a segment, not, I know we just totally went off topic,
Yeah.
but this does feed into the women serial killers because our drive and our, like, I mean, down to immortality or, I don't know if Elizabeth, I don't think that, I'm not so convinced that Elizabeth Bathory was a serial killer.
You don't think, like it's hard to
I,
believe like how much of it is more legend now and what was really true or
because if you think about, she was a female in a high position.
mm-hmm.
She had just got that land. Her husband died. Her shit died. It was in famine. People wanted to take it and store it. They had to find a way, just like how they
To make
beheaded
her a
Anne
villain.
Boleyn,
Yeah, to make her the villain.
so they could
Yeah.
get her land.
But I
So
mean, like
I'm
she
not
was walled up in
so.
her castle, like it was, or still her house at least.
But was she forced into those? Because I've seen a story. I've seen a take on her as not that, as
Mm.
what I just said, is just being set up.
Okay.
And then I've also seen where she had, like,
I mean, she had her slave. She had two men helpers, and I mean, they were found guilty too.
yeah,
And
were they though? Because anybody could say that back then.
yeah, that's true.
And they would have took
That's
the
true.
handmaid's
Yeah.
account and
Yeah.
the servant girl's account. She
Yeah.
could have been merciless in her treatment.
Or she could have been a Gertrude, the
Or she
people
could have
that.
been crazy and sadistic.
Yeah. I don't
I mean,
know. Like you got to think,
legends is
like when you
always better
own
than the
somebody, yeah.
truth.
Well, but you got to think too. Like when you own somebody, you would think that you could do whatever you wanted to. They were yours to,
And that's how they were
and they were taught,
made
and they
to
grew up,
think as well.
thinking that they did. These
Just
people
the
were
thinking
second.
alone
Yeah, even as
was
kids, they
different.
were taught that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Yeah,
anything
you're
to
absolutely
treat
right.
them like that.
It was like entitlement with our kids and a video game system.
And that goes back to like
Mm-mm.
even Roman, all of that,
all the way back.
Yeah,
all the way back.
yeah.
Since forever.
Like you're mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in marriage now, so no wonder we poison people.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's what
We're always been owned.
Yep.
We're a property.
Yeah.
The idea of love didn't even come into the early 1900s. In the 20th century.
And how
only
they would
Americans,
say you got to marry this guy.
Yeah, would marry for
you
love.
didn't even have the freedom to fall in love and get
no.
married. No.
Nobody
Your
did.
dad
it
gave
was
you
property.
it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you fuck the whores and murder them.
Yeah.
So, and I think that with men, they're so predictable in their patterns. You know what I mean? Even like as I was reading about, obviously this guy, James, we're
Like
going to get back into that.
Yeah.
He claims to have killed 3 prostitutes.
And he said he blamed it on the one woman that he was in love with, that was probably like one of his first relationships. Mm-hmm. She did him wrong, so he hates all women now. Right. That type of thing is what I got from reading about him.
And he killed prostitutes because they didn't deserve to live anyway. He said they brought herpes
were whores
home.
And herpes spreaders,
corrupt families.
And corrupt families and stuff. So he definitely hated women. Mm. Maybe he had an overbearing mother, because that's a lot of. Like, and then you even gotta you feel bad for him in a way. The
absence of a mother. Right.
Some of them that have the horrendous childhoods, like that Carl like him. It was horrendous. So, I mean, no wonder.
And women abuse you differently than men.
Oh, yeah.
When men are more impulsive abuse, women is a slow, everyday grinding and make you horrible. And I've seen women treat their sons like that because they think of them as their fathers.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, your dad did this to me, so I'm going to ruin your life.
There's a lot of...
Or they turn you into their man.
Yeah, that's weird, too, yeah. Yeah.
That's what Felicity's dad's mom did.
That's
like Norman
Bates.
Mom. Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Norman Bates.
Yep.
So, you're right. And also with women, too. Because even myself have a different or twisted perception of love.
Yeah.
As a result of daddy issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's a real thin line with parenting, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
He might be raising serial killers.
And that's scary as shit too.
Or even just snapping.
The kid killers. Like, oh, Lord. Like, I always think, I
have a hard time watching them.
The teenage girls and stuff that kill their parents
or just that little boy over in India. He's the number one kid right now that's taking the cake. And some of them, I was watching some of them, they kill as a reaction, a cause and effect
to them.
And a reaction. Yeah, I don't even know if it's about them. I almost want to think it's like a science experiment or
some of them
discovery.
Yeah, it is.
The way they describe it, and then they have no conscience of what they did wrong.
Yeah, yeah. That's because they don't have a conscience at all. Yeah, it's the absence of it. Yeah. Or even yet with a kid. Yeah. Like there was this kid in Japan.
But think of the countries they're raised in.
Yeah, that's what. The other places like that. But I mean, there's kids in our country that
I know. What about them twins just murdered their mama?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, them little girls that just took that Skylar chick out and murdered her. That was in our town, Fairmont. They searched for her. They're on Snapped, I believe. They're on one of them shows.
Oh yeah? Huh.
The little girl Skylar, she was 14. This was a few years back.
Was this the Slender Man shit?
No.
No? Okay.
They were just upset with her. They didn't like her no more. So they took her on a drive. They were a little older than her. She was 14, 15, 16. They're in jail now. They're from Clarksburg, Weston.
Oh, well, good.
Morgantown.
So they murdered
helped
their
the mom
friend?
look for her.
Oh, that's fucked up. I watched one where one of the girls moved in after they had killed the daughter, moved in with the daughter's family at one point. Yeah, as one I watched. It was on Deadly Women.
See, that's what I mean about women. I seen one where a little girl was so obsessed with the neighbor girl that she murdered and kept her.
Oh, wow.
Because she wanted to be her.
Yeah. Yeah, women are a little more twisted in a way.
Yeah,
men are real impulsive.
Whole segment
and they're, like you said, predictable because, like, it's always the sex thing with men. And,
or no sex.
Or, well, yeah.
Or it's
in
impulsive killings,
like
just the drive, like a shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people with guns.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even respect those kind of killers. I don't. Like they bother me for some reason. If I were to be a serial killer, it would be hands on. Mm-hmm. Or you're wasting the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that.
So this guy, he's saying he shot him. Like, he shot
him after the fact.
No, I thought he said like that's how he killed him.
Yeah, but I think he shot them after
whatever he did.
We only know of shooting a couple of them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he probably strangled the prostitutes.
Oh, the way he talked about he liked it, he probably did.
Either he had sex with them,
or maybe he strangled
felt
while
dirty.
He was having sex with them,
or why? Know? And that's all he confessed to. I feel like he probably did a lot more. That's why I want to investigate a little more.
He even hinted to there was more.
So, and he knew not to hide him on his property.
Yeah, because they would look there.
Mm-hmm. So if they ever come back to him. And also in Barber County, one of them was found.
Yeah. That's out there, Arden. That's Barber County. Arden.
So that's close coming on down this direction.
Yeah.
And he was in Clarksburg, man.
Yeah, that's 15 minutes away. Yeah.
Oh my God. So he would have been between 20 years old in 1987.
Yeah.
And 30 in 1997.
In 1997, we were 16.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah.
No shit. I know how. So
yeah, that's scary. Melissa, I feel like she would have been.
Oh man, she probably hung out with him.
Yeah, that's what I immediately thought.
I mean, I'm trying to think if we know him. I mean, if we can even connect him back to us, any Childers. I don't know.
No, we were a little younger though, because we were only 16.
I wonder if he has any children.
I don't know. Being 42, I don't know.
What kind of job he had.
Right. No, they said he was a carpenter.
Maybe. Handyman. He had his own handyman.
There's a lot of them that are handymen.
Mm-hmm.
That Israel Keys guy, he was a handyman.
Mm-hmm. It's easy.
The guy was listening to stuff on him today.
So a lot of experts believe that if you find a body along a highway, it's more of a nomadic killer. And when you find
that would make sense.
Within a mile inward into any kind of bush or wooded area, that it's more of a local killer.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Because if you're just driving to get rid of a body, like you could just drive away. You
have to know the land.
Yeah, and if you're somebody local,
and drive away. You're right. Disposable.
Oh yeah. And that's what the victims are to them. They're disposable
trash
humans.
now.
And that's why it doesn't even get reported. Because we were 16. Why didn't we know there was an active serial killer?
Yeah, we should have had a curfew. Yeah, that's what I said. They didn't even know.
They didn't even know. He was
and that's what I meant about our forensics. Because think about the women we were just talking about that was murdered, Faith Ann, who disappeared in 2005. Mm-hmm. And she's never been found.
Yeah, never. Nothing.
And then we had, we were talking a lot about Fame Cooper.
Yeah.
She disappeared in 1990. And she was found in Barrackville, Robinson Run Hollow. And so she was 14. Yep.
Yeah.
14 years old. And supposedly, which I want to talk to Brian Stewart about it, they said that her head was missing.
Yeah.
But her hands and her feet were bound. And it was 9 months later or something like that. 9 months later. And another bizarre case in 1970, prior to her, if she really was missing her head.
Right. There was another.
Those co-eds. Mm-hmm. And then you said your mom knew ghost tales now.
Yeah. My mom always, when I grew up, I always heard the ghost story of the two co-heads that their heads were missing. And they were out partying, I guess somewhere around where the bodies were found.
Yes.
Yeah. It was my mom and her friends. And she said that these two fireballs, but, this was 1970, so you can imagine why they're seeing fireballs, but two head-shaped fireballs came down in the middle of this field, and she said everybody just got the fuck out of there after that, because they were talking about it happening when this happened, like talking about they never found the heads. Yeah.
So
the coincidence was pretty
that was
hard.
Mildred Malarick and Karen Farrell, and they were WVU students. They left the Metropolitan Theater in Morgantown, and then they hitchhiked to their dorms because there wasn't transportation, and they went missing January 18th, 1970. They were last seen getting to a cream Chevy isn't it always a white man? Ain't that
or something
funny?
like that?
A white